Have you ever stopped to think that sometimes oversharing can backfire? It's curious how some truths we consider harmless can actually compromise our peace and even our closest relationships. And what about secrets that, when well kept, give us silent power and prevent unnecessary wear and tear? Benjamin Franklin knew this, and he left us lessons that, even centuries later, still resonate powerfully. After all, a truly wise man knows that certain things should never be revealed, especially to his own family. Want to find out what they are and why they make all the difference? Get ready, because what you're about to learn could change the way you see and deal with the people around you. Knowing how to control your emotions is one of the greatest virtues of a wise man. Think about it, how many times has anger taken over, leading to regret that could have been avoided? A wise person understands that anger is a self-inflicted punishment, an unnecessary weight they carry because of someone else's mistake. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to act impulsively, but those who master their reactions choose calm as their shield. The next time you feel your blood boiling, try to take a step back and think, is it worth losing your peace over something that will soon be irrelevant? Anger is never the best advisor, and often what starts impulsively ends in shame. It's like throwing a stone that inevitably comes back to us. Who hasn't found themselves in a situation where heated words caused more damage than any physical action? A wise man understands that silence has its own power and that by controlling his voice, he avoids damage that can't be undone. On this path, it's important to remember, speaking less often reveals more. Be wise when choosing your battles. Not every offense deserves a response, and distinguishing the essential from the irrelevant is a skill few master. Perhaps you've noticed, those who truly have something to say often choose to remain silent. It's not weakness, it's strategy. This self-control not only preserves peace but also sets the wise apart in a world where everyone seems eager to prove a point at any cost. Honesty can be harsh, but it's one of the pillars of those who seek to live with integrity. It's true, facing a painful reality is always better than living surrounded by lies that only hinder growth. Many prefer to hide the truth to avoid conflict, but the fact is that lies always find a way to reveal themselves. A wise man knows that by being honest with himself and others, he builds a solid foundation of trust and respect that no deceit can shake. In a world where appearances can deceive, transparency is a rare advantage. It may not be easy to confront someone with an uncomfortable truth, but who said life is always comfortable? Sometimes, honesty hurts but also liberates. When you choose honesty, you gain the respect of those around you and, most importantly, strengthen your own character. It's like that friend who doesn't hesitate to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. It's this type of sincerity that leaves lasting impressions. A well-spoken truth, even if rough, is worth more than 1,000 sweet, empty words. Honesty may drive away those who aren't interested in a genuine relationship, but it's a powerful filter for identifying those who truly value authenticity. Instead of living in a theater of falsehoods, a wise man prefers to face the consequences of being honest. In the end, he knows that the truth always comes to light, and when it does, his peace is already secure, unlike those who relied on lies. True friendship reveals itself in the toughest times, and it's precisely in moments of testing that you discover who's by your side out of interest and who genuinely cares. When the tide is high, everyone wants to be close, but at the slightest sign of a storm, only the true ones remain. A wise man knows to recognize the value of friends who stay and lets go of those who only show up when it's convenient. Friendship is more than presence, it's loyalty and commitment. How many times have you trusted someone only to be disappointed later? This is part of learning. Over time, masks fall, and people reveal their true intentions. Instead of getting hurt, take these experiences as an opportunity to identify who truly deserves a place in your life. A true friend is someone who shows up not only to celebrate but also to bear the burdens that life imposes. These are the bonds that truly matter and make a difference. It's like the saying goes, in times of crisis, you find out who's on the boat with you and who is just waiting for the first chance to jump ship. Wisdom lies in accepting these revelations without resentment. In practice, valuing true friendship is a sign of maturity and, at the same time, a way to protect yourself. By recognizing your allies, you strengthen the circle of people who genuinely deserve your respect and trust. The power of silence is a virtue that few truly master. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, those who know how to keep quiet are the ones who truly hold power. Silence allows you to reflect before acting, avoiding words that might hurt or compromise. For the wise, silence is a strategic choice, a way to preserve inner peace and, at the same time, observe others more closely. Instead of speaking impulsively, they choose to absorb what's around them. You know that urge to respond when someone says something provocative? Well, the wise resist this impulse. Instead of reacting, they prefer to keep calm and consider what's really worth it. This is because they understand that not everything deserves a response. Sometimes silence is what most disarms a provocation. The lack of response confuses and, at the same time, preserves the serenity of those who know exactly what they're doing. Moreover, those who choose silence are not avoiding but rather avoiding unnecessary conflicts. Silence is like armor that protects from emotional wear in exhausting situations. It's a reminder that not every battle is worth fighting and that, often, the best thing to do is simply observe. It's a wisdom that, in the long run, ensures peace and strengthens self-control.
Want to transform your life from the inside out? Check out our ebook with practical tools for real change. Go to the pinned comment, click the link, and see how to start your transformation today.
Self-knowledge is one of the greatest investments someone can make in themselves. Those who truly know themselves have a clear understanding of their strengths and weaknesses, avoiding exposing their vulnerabilities to those who don't deserve that trust. A wise man knows that not everything should be shared and that preserving some aspects of his own life is a way to protect himself. This prudence is a sign of maturity and allows him to build healthier and longer-lasting relationships. It's common to think we need to share everything with those close to us, but this is a trap that can lead to frustration. By keeping certain experiences or feelings to themselves, the wise avoid misunderstandings or judgments that could compromise their tranquility. Those who know themselves deeply understand that, often, the greatest challenges are internal, and exposing them can bring more complications than benefits. It's a silent protection that helps maintain personal integrity. In practice, self-knowledge guides us to relationships where respect prevails. By knowing exactly who he is, the wise become less vulnerable to external manipulations and more confident in their decisions. This confidence reflects in all interactions, as he knows what should or shouldn't be shared and, thus, avoids unnecessary wear and tear. It's the beginning of a journey of self-confidence that opens doors to true and lasting connections. Emotional self-sufficiency is a trait few develop, but it brings immense value to those who master it. Knowing how to live well with oneself, without depending on the presence or approval of others, is what distinguishes the wise from the ordinary. They understand that their happiness and peace of mind cannot be in the hands of others. This inner balance keeps them steady in the face of life's uncertainties and prevents them from clinging to relationships that drain their energy. Being self-sufficient doesn't mean isolating from the world but rather having the certainty that, in any situation, they can rely on themselves. Loneliness, instead of being a burden, becomes a space for personal strengthening. This ability to be complete within themselves allows them to make more conscious choices and avoid committing to people or situations that don't add value. In practice, it's like knowing your best friend is always by your side, yourself. To those observing from the outside, this independence may even seem cold, but it's actually a sign of wisdom and balance. The wise know that by cultivating self-sufficiency, they open space for relationships based on choice, not need. And it's this freedom that allows them to relate genuinely, without fear of loss or dependence. In the end, this autonomy is the foundation for a full and free life. Small habits can have a huge impact, and this is something only the truly wise understand. A small expense or seemingly insignificant action, when repeated, can lead to great consequences, good or bad. Those who live wisely know that even a small leak can sink a ship and that, in life, the small choices made every day add up to define a person's destiny. They pay attention to details and avoid wasting their energy on things that don't hold value. It's easy to ignore small expenses or actions, believing they don't make a difference. But on the contrary, every choice contributes to a greater outcome. Imagine a person who saves small amounts daily. Over time, this becomes a fortune. Likewise, a wise person avoids accumulating small mistakes that, together, could become a big problem. They prefer to build solidly, brick by brick, knowing that's how great achievements arise. This mindset of attention to detail is what differentiates those who live fully from those who get lost in trivialities. The wise understand that success and peace are built on small daily victories and that there are no shortcuts to a life of value. Thus, they observe, analyze, and choose each action carefully, aware that everything they do today will reflect in tomorrow's harvest. It's simple wisdom, but it brings profound results. Letting go of the past is an act of courage that only the wise truly understand. We all have memories, mistakes, and choices that, now and then, try to pull us back. But to move forward, it's essential to leave those anchors behind. The wise understand that by releasing what no longer serves them, they make room for new opportunities and grow from the lessons left by the past. After all, no one can move toward the future while always looking in the rearview mirror. Imagine someone who's stuck in an old mistake, revisiting it at every step, carrying the weight of that regret. This burden becomes a barrier, preventing any advancement. Instead, the wise choose to learn from what's past but move forward, conscious that their story doesn't have to be defined by a single chapter. They know that to open new doors, old ones must be closed, and this is what allows them to live fully and unburdened. Letting go isn't just about forgetting, it's about accepting and evolving. Every choice, every experience becomes a brick that strengthens the foundation of a new phase. Leaving things behind isn't weakness, it's a form of freedom. By embracing this practice, the wise create a light life for themselves, where what truly matters is what lies ahead. They know the future holds much more than the past could ever offer. Preparing for the future is an art few master, but it can be the difference between success and frustration. A wise man knows that living the present with attention and purpose is the best way to prepare for what's to come. They understand that the future is uncertain, but today's actions lay the foundation for tomorrow. Instead of fearing what lies ahead, they choose to live as if each moment were valuable preparation for their dreams. While many are paralyzed by fear of the future, the wise choose action. They set small goals and build habits that feed their projects and strengthen their journey. Imagine someone who, instead of procrastinating, uses available time to develop themselves, studying and investing in useful skills. This is the difference for those who understand that success isn't an isolated event but the result of consistent and well-planned choices. To them, each day is a new opportunity for growth. And so, they approach their future with confidence, knowing that everything they plant today will be reaped tomorrow. This kind of preparation allows the wise to face life's uncertainties with serenity, for they trust in their own abilities and become the protagonists of their destiny. The future is a constant construction, and they know that daily effort is what will bring them security and achievements. Choosing the right battles is a skill few master, but it distinguishes the wise from others. They know that not every challenge deserves their energy and that, in many cases, silence and distance are the best responses. It takes discernment to recognize what truly matters and avoid conflicts that only bring emotional exhaustion. For the wise, it's about preserving their peace, avoiding being drawn into meaningless situations. Imagine arguing over something that, in the end, adds nothing to your life. How many times have you seen someone invest precious hours in discussions that lead nowhere? The wise, on the other hand, prefer to observe and save their strength for issues that truly make a difference. They understand that true wisdom lies in knowing where to invest their time and that by avoiding conflict, they stay strong for greater challenges. This selective choice of battles ensures that they live with more lightness and balance. Instead of getting lost in futile arguments, they stay focused on what truly matters. The wisdom to choose battles transforms their life into a path where every step is taken with purpose. And this is how the wise preserve their peace and strengthen their self-control, without letting others' chaos interfere with their own balance. And now, after so much wisdom, it's time to apply all this in your day-to-day life. After all, knowledge only makes sense when put into practice, right? So, think about which of these lessons you can start using today. Which battle will you choose to avoid? Which truth will you set aside to protect your peace? These questions are the starting point for a journey of self-knowledge and wisdom. So don't put it off, put these ideas into action, observe the changes, and reap the rewards. If these reflections resonated with you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications. This way, you'll always stay updated on new content that can transform your life. Let's go together on this journey in search of a wiser, fuller life.